I'm Natalie, thanks again for joining me for a brand new video on my channel. Now, I talk a lot about hip rotation in the golf swing on this channel. We've done loads of hip exercises to increase mobility and create more rotation and separation. But one thing that's not been touched upon a great deal is strengthening the hips, and particularly this whole pelvis area. So not just talking about the hip muscles as in flexors, but the glutes, the core, this whole pelvis area here in the middle. Because we know a lack of mobility doesn't help hip turn, but neither does a lack of hip strength. It can lead you to a few errors in the golf swing, particularly in the backswing, where we might start to see some backswing sway creeping in, where we lose stability and we start to move laterally in the backswing as opposed to just creating that loaded turn. In the downswing, we start to see that early extension creeping in, where the pelvis is thrusting forwards, where we don't have that glute strength and that stability around the core and the hips to maintain posture and then just create that rotation on that spinal angle. Lastly, and a real common one, we might be seeing some hanging back through the downswing as well. And this is where we start to arch the angle of the back and we don't really clear that lead hip coming through the ball. So then all we get is the upper body and the arms becoming a bit too dominant and we've got that arched position, which isn't great for the lower back. So this video, I've got 3 exercises to help you strengthen weak hips in the golf swing. This will make a massive difference to your game, so let's have a look. First exercise is the hip flexor bridge. This is great for developing glute strength and also lengthening out the hip flexors. So you're going to lie yourself down. You need something to place one foot on with the opposite foot just by the side of you. So I've set myself up on the squat rack. I'm lying back and I've got one foot on the squat rack around about 90 degrees. This foot needs to remain completely straight. You've also got the other foot just by the side of you. Once you've got these 2 positions, we're going to look to lift into that bridge, as you can see. The key thing with this exercise is that we add pressure or a bit of force through both feet. So if you imagine around about 5 out of 10 of your pressure, you're going to push the foot on the squat rack into the rack and the foot on the floor into the floor, mainly through the big toe and the arch of the foot. This should help to get more activation out of the glute and also lengthen the hip flexor a little bit more. Bridge up until you've got your knee running a straight line roughly down to your shoulder. For this exercise, aim for around about 10 to 12 reps on each side. Next are the banded clams. This is a great exercise for developing the smaller muscles around the hip joint. So just lying on your side, stack your knees and your hips together. You've got the band just above your knees. It's important here that we slide the top knee over the bottom knee. That is crucial to this movement, as you can see here. Keep your hips stacked and then you're just going to lift this top knee. Again, the feet will remain together. So the key thing to this exercise is making sure that top knee overhangs the bottom knee. If we don't do that, then all that happens is we just pull with a bit of a rock and we're not getting that same contraction. So drive that top knee up. You should feel some tension in the side of the hip, side of the glute area. That band will obviously stretch and become a little bit tighter. Try to maintain the rest of the posture through your body so you keep yourself pretty solid. If you're finding this a little bit too easy, we can move to the advanced position, which is like the side plank with the clam in it. And all this is exactly the same thing, but lifting up the bottom side. So we've got no band anymore. Push up into a side plank and then open up that top knee. So we're clamming from that top leg and then we're lifting in a side plank position from the bottom leg. This is a much harder exercise. So if you're not feeling very confident with the first one, take some practice before you come onto this second one. For the banded clam, I'd aim for about 15 to 20 on each side. And for the side plank clam, I'd aim for about 8 to 10 on each side. This video is sponsored by GX Golf Gloves. Awesome quality gloves at way cheaper prices. Golf equipment is so expensive, so the last thing we need to do is spend even more money on gloves. Take a look at the GX website where you can get 10% off with my code PRO10. Final exercise is the hip abduction using the resistance band. So you just need to tie your band to something and place it on the outside foot on the ankle. Standing nice and tall through both legs, and obviously if you need to lean on something, do that as shown here. You're just going to pull the band out with a straight leg until you get to a point of sort of tension and pinch on that side. Nice and slowly, you're going to resist the band on the way back in, and then we pull the band out nice and tight on the way out. The key thing to this is that you maintain posture, so you keep yourself nice and tall, particularly through the leg that isn't moving, and you only pull the band to the point at which you feel a little bit of a pinch. We don't need to drag it any further than this. This should work the outside muscles of the hip and the glutes. Aim for about 12 to 15 on each side. There's 3 exercises there to help you develop the strength around the hips and the pelvis area. Follow the reps on the screen and make any adaptations as necessary in the videos shown. These exercises will help you to develop the strength around this pelvis, which is crucial to be able to hit good angles in the golf swing and maintain stability. So with some practice on these exercises, what you should find is that you hold center point a lot easier, avoiding sway in the backswing, just creating that real loaded position in the right hip, turning into the backswing. And also you're able to rotate and really clear through that lead hip in the downswing, hopefully creating a little bit more lag, clubhead speed, and fingers crossed, more distance. Give these a try, follow the reps on the screen, and you can build them into your regular routines. Thanks again for joining me on my channel and watching this video with me. Thumbs up button if you enjoyed it and you think that this content is useful. Don't forget you can share this channel with your golfing mates as well. And of course, I'll be back next time with a new topic.